Hello, my name is Shane, and I have something really cool that I want to show all of you action figure collectors out there today. To give some backstory really quick, when I was a kid, my dad always collected stamps, um, and I wanted to collect action figures. We didn't have the money, so as an adult, I've started to collect my own hobby of action figures, specifically for AEW. Um, a few weeks ago at Christmas, my dad was just about to retire and let me know that he had started to mess around with finding a way to track his stamp collection and said it would be a neat idea to try getting into it with my AEW figures. That said, I took a look and he had let me know about certain things that what he was using could and couldn't do. But I stayed interested. I've noticed that there's not really a way to track your AEW figure collection, and I found an app that allows you to create other apps, and it's called Replit, which maybe you've seen ads for or not. So I figured I'd give it a shot. So I started off with one idea. It wasn't quite working out, but I kept at it. I kept making new accounts so I could keep messing with it to see what it would take to get it to work correctly. Lo and behold, today I had checked some messages and comments that I saw yesterday. I had posted it about this concept in a AEW figure collectors page and thought, based on the feedback that I was getting from people, that it might be worth pursuing. The downside for me was that it costs money in order to keep this thing live. Some people have suggested maybe a subscription model would work. So that's why I'm posting this out in the world, to see if there's any further interest. Maybe if we get enough people behind this. With the recent rumors about Jazzwares no longer creating action figures for AEW going forward, it kind of leaves all of us collectors on the market kind of at a point of not knowing what our future holds. And that also puts a constraint on how many figures will forever exist now. That all said, if just, me saying all of this, if you're maybe a skeptic, like, does this guy actually collect? Does he, got a bigger plot? Short answer is I do collect, and I don't have a bigger plot. But just to kind of show you here, this is my X timeline. You can see that I always post my new purchases. Usually I'll tag AEW by Jazzwares themselves, Ringside Collectibles, just to kind of show, the evolution of my collection, right? And there's a lot more figures than what I have. But this just to show you this is a real thing for me. This project was inspired by my own desire to have the ability to track my collection. But in doing so, I've also seen in the past some issues where on these pages you have people with fake profiles initiating trades, and there's really not much that anyone can do about it. That said, even with my platform that I'm going to show you, I would hope that only honorable people use it and not people who are looking to scam or get other people. If you use it your own risk. There is a feature on the back end for me to be able to go and review any trades if there's a dispute. You're also able to have full conversations. That said, I'm going to go ahead and show you what this app looks like, how it works, and I'm open to feedback, and I hope that you love it. Okay. So here it is. It's called FigVault. It can be found at AEW figvault.replit.app. And I will also include that at a later point here. But let me just kind of take you through, show you what this has to offer. There are probably some figures missing. I know that the Target pay-per-view line is missing at this point. I really just wanted to get this out there into the world so that way people can see it. test it out. If there's not enough traction or interest within a month, this is probably going to go down. So this is being created. Today is January 18th, and I'm going to keep it up until February 18th, unless, like I said, there's enough traction to justify keeping it up and running. There is an option to report a bug down here. Now, so, for example, you see this page here. It does come to an end at this Series 4. However, it has everything going up to the most recent releases. So if I go here, if I hit Series 14, now because there isn't a Series 14 of Unmatched, it only has Unrivaled. If I say chose Series 9, I can see both. So you can filter it by line. You can filter it from all to Unrivaled or Unmatched. Let's say you have this whole collection. You can select multiple, and selecting each figure, you can go ahead and add it to your collection. Now, at the same time, if these are the figures you don't have, you can add them to your wanted collection. So I'm going to go ahead and add them to my wanted collection by clicking this button here. And instead of owned, I'm going to click the drop down and put it as wanted. I'm going to go ahead and confirm the add. And now it's going to be in my collection. My collection can be viewed here. And you can filter it down by owned, ordered, and wanted. So if I filter it down to wanted, you can see here that I have 3 figures that show as being wanted. Now let's say you have figures that you want to trade. So let me go here to my owned, and let me go ahead and go to this John Moxley. Let's say I've got 2 of him and I don't need both. I'm going to go ahead and toggle this on for trade and save it to my collection. When I save this to my collection as being for trade, it's going to show up in my view for Trade Hub. So here I have 2 items as being tradable. Now I can see over here that there is somebody who has a figure that I want, this one being the bunny. I can go ahead and click on here to make a trade offer, and it will send the other account a message notifying them of the trade request. Now how this works is you go to messages, and you'll see this here. It says exactly what is being offered, and you can also send any custom messages. So let's say in this case that it's been accepted. I'm going to go ahead and say go ahead and send via PayPal. Now, full disclosure, full disclaimer here, use this at your own risk. This is between you and the other person, not between you two and me. As mentioned before, I can still see the transaction on my side, but not financials. I can't see anything that's not in here. This is your vault. You can copy the link and you can share it. So if I go ahead and click share, and go ahead and do this. Don't know why it filled that out, but okay. And I don't know why it's doing that either. Okay. Alright, so you can post your collection, people can go to it and view it, and see what you have in your collection. Now the other side of the trade platform looks like this. So we've got trade offers. It can show you, now this is something that I can't seem to nail down. But to be honest with you, I was really excited that I was able to get this to work. So kind of wanted to move forward with demoing it out and getting this information out to anyone who's truly interested before too long. Logging in, when you do register, it will have you go ahead and put in your password twice. You'll need to add an email. And when you sign in, you'd have to do a CAPTCHA. So a few things that I want to get done. One of the bugs I've noticed is when you go to log in, you do have to refresh the page. Once you refresh, it will load. In this case, you can see the trade offer. You can view the details of this in your messages. And as before, it has what is being offered and what is wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and accept this offer. And that will take me to the conversation yet again. Now I'm on this page. This is what I can see. If I click this, this is the one that's already been put out there. But it will show you any matches where you have a figure listed as for trade and the other person has a figure that you're interested in as being wanted. So that said, that is this app. Let me know what you think. Would you be interested in using it? The biggest thing that's been thrown out there is a subscription model. If enough support comes my way, or if people decide that they want to contribute funds towards keeping this up and running, I would definitely be open-minded to that. I just don't want to spend money on something that's not getting used and sitting stagnant. That said, this is the app so far. I've got a few more things that I want to work out. This first bug I'm going to put, can't close bug window. And to be honest, I haven't tested this out yet. Yep, so it failed. I'm going to go work on that and a few other little features. Stay tuned. Check it out. Let me know. Thank you for watching.